Hi, everyone. I've been watching the chat light up with everyone's locations and classrooms. We are going to give other attendees about 2 minutes to log on. At 2 minutes after the hour, we are going to get started. While we wait for any other attendees and make sure they have plenty of time to settle in with their class, I would love to keep hearing in this chat who's here, where are you from, what class are you teaching? As a former teacher, I just get so excited to see and hear everyone coming in. Oh, thank you, Gabby. Allie, oh, y'all are so sweet. Yeah, I had to make sure I was Lego ready today. Let's see who we've got. I saw lots of California earlier. Let's see. I see STEAM teachers, New Haven, Connecticut, Alabama, Dallas, Texas. I see third graders, Ohio second grade. Oh my goodness, we've got such a lovely group today. Everyone seems so excited. Chapel Hill, North Carolina, Houston, Texas. I taught in Houston for a couple of years. Good to see y'all. Zebulon, North Carolina. New Jersey. Y'all are here from all over today. Montgomery, Pennsylvania. We've got some Philly in the house. Third grade in Pittsburgh. Art and music teachers. Welcome, welcome. Indiana, third grade. Wow, y'all are so excited, and we're going to be using this chat quite a bit today. So good to know that it is working perfectly. You know where it is. You know how to use it. This chat's going to be one of your best friends. All right, y'all, it is 1:02 my time, where I'm in the Eastern time zone. So we are going to go ahead and get started with this Lego event. I'm going to introduce myself first, just so you know who this random human being is on your screen. So I am Cassie. I work at First Book. We are partnering with the Lego group to bring you this event today. Just a couple of things about me. I used to be a teacher and indie bookseller, so I love, love, love reading. I love dressing up as different characters for fun in my free time. So here's me as Anna from Frozen. And I have 2 tortie cats I absolutely love, named Tiana and Merida. I am so excited about our topic today. We talk here at First Book in the Lego group about lots of different ways to help our planet, and this is a way I've not really thought of before. We're going to talk about a future without waste, designing things differently today. So you want to think about all the waste we produce on this planet and create, and think about the different ways we might be able to change that kind of waste production. Teachers, we've got your favorite and agenda I've got here for you today. So we are going to ask experts about nature, reusing everyday items, and being better stewards of our resources. Hear music from a band with instruments entirely made out of trash. It is so cool. And we are going to use our new knowledge to build solutions for creating less waste in our own school cafeterias. So we're going to take everything we learned today and think of ways we can make a change in our own schools. Now, I'm not going to be doing this by myself. I have one of my favorite people we get to work with here at First Book getting ready to join us. His name is David. He is part of the Lego group and works on Build the Change. David, it's so good to see you.
Hi, Cassie. How are you doing? Good to see you. You good?
I'm so good. I have been looking forward to today for weeks now. Why don't you go ahead and tell our students and educators a little bit more about yourself and Build the Change.
Sounds good. Hi to everyone. Hi, Elizabeth. Thanks for saying hi. Good to see you all. Yeah, we love working with First Book. They are awesome, aren't they? We all know that. My name's David Palash, and I've been working with the Lego group for 8 years now. Dream job. I know it's a lot of fun. I used to be a teacher as well as Cassie, and it is an absolute pleasure to be with you today. We are talking about a very, very important topic, but before we get to that, a little about myself. So on the next slide, we have a few little pictures to guide us through that. Yeah, nearly there. There we go. Live television, that's how it is. Good. So we have some photos here. Yes, I love Lego bricks. I love building with Lego bricks. It is an absolute joy. And I build a lot of wildlife stuff. So I am crazy about wildlife. Everyone in First Book knows this as well because I constantly talk about it. I love wildlife. I love the planet. I have since I was your age. It is a massive passion of mine. So to be able to talk about these topics in my job now is incredible. I'm a huge birder, so I love bird watching, and it is a fun hobby despite what people may think. It's full of excitement and joy, despite what people might think. And I highly recommend grabbing some binoculars and getting out there. Cassie, have you ever bird watched before?
I haven't gone out with binoculars yet, but I have at my apartment 2 bird feeders that are suction cupped to our windows. So my cats and I do a lot of bird watching just up close.
I bet the cats do. Yeah, I bet they love bird watching. Amazing. And then, of course, I have these 2 little guys in the picture on the right. That's my 2 children and my beautiful wife here in the UK. I forgot to say where I am. I'm not in the United States. I am in the United Kingdom at the moment. I am just near London, beaming into you via the internet, and it's so cool because America was my old home and I used to live there. So good to connect with you all. Right. I wanted to tell you a little bit before we jump ahead about Build the Change as well. Build the Change is the platform we're working with First Book on. It's a platform we basically get real world topics, really important topics like what we're looking at today, and we give children the steering wheel. We give you the tools to create and ideate problems, ideate solutions to solve those problems, and we give you a voice. We give you some platforms to share those on. So today is all about, after a little bit of speaking from us, you getting hands-on with creative materials, whatever you have handy, and starting to ideate some visions for the future, for a better future, for a better planet. So Build the Change is all about that if you haven't heard about it before. And we're really excited. Before we do that, Cassie, shall we ask some questions? I'm going to go to a poll. I have a drumstick with me, which I love using. It's like conducting. Yeah. We have a question for you. What we would like you to do now, because some of you are in a big classroom, we would like you to look at this question and in your class, all put your hands up to see who is number 1, who's number 2, who's number 3. And then the highest number, if you could let us know that number in the poll, that would be great. We would love to hear. So I already see some people in the chat. We've got a poll coming, so get ready to answer that. Here's a question. How do you feel when you think about environmental problems? They're impossible to solve, number 1. I don't think we can solve them. Unsure how to help. Ready to support others. Excited to help solve them. I can see you already answering. Let's go to the poll. Get you to answer there. So which one is number 1 for you? Answer that in your browser and we will give you some time to do that. A lot of number 5s coming through. Number 4s. Kelly's a 5 and a 2. Cassie, there's a lot of 5 and 4s, aren't there?
I love seeing how so many of you are already prepared to take on environmental problems. I think that is so inspiring and exciting.
It's so cool, isn't it? And the numbers are still rising. There are some 2s and 3s, which is also good because we need people with all different opinions on this, and not everyone's going to feel comfortable enough yet to solve the problems. Isn't that right, Cassie? And these kind of sessions can help.
Yeah, absolutely. It is all about gathering that knowledge and learning what we can do.
Exactly. Right, we'll close the poll in a second or two, and let's see where we ended up. A lot still coming in, a lot of 5 and 4s. Melissa's got a 3, 4, and 5 in her group. Laurie's a 4.
Yes, lots of range.
But let's look, Cassie, at the results and tell my. There we go. Look at that. Was that a drum roll? I like that. Oh, actually, I've got a drum kit there. We should have used that. Now, as we suggested, it is heavily weighted to the 4 and 5, which is awesome. Excellent. I'm very happy about that. Are you, Cassie?
Oh, I love it. I love how ready we are to support each other and the planet. And it's okay to be unsure about how to help. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. And all those guys in 4 and 5, you can help the 2s and 3s come up to that end. Well done, everyone. Now, there's one more question to ask you. Another poll question. So save your answers for the poll if you can, rather than the chat. I think you can answer more than one for this. So which of these environmental solutions, hello Vancouver, which of these environmental solutions have you heard of? 1, recycling. 2, repairing things. 3, regenerating nature. 4, reusing resources. Which of those have you heard? Let's put them in. Check any box. Marsha is straight in there in the chat with 1, 2, 3, and 4. All of them. I love that.
Ooh, we've got so much knowledge in the chat. I love it.
This is great. This is
I
really
think the
good.
one I learned the most about when I was your age was recycling. I was in charge actually on my college campus. It was very, very small college campus, so I could be in charge of it. But I was in charge of gathering campus recycling for a couple of years. So I felt very passionate about that. But it's so cool to know that there are other solutions.
That's right. And we have a couple here. So repairing things. We don't always need to throw something away. We can sometimes repair it and use it again, give it another life. We also have regenerating nature, bringing nature back where it once existed. A lot of urban environments used to have nature. Now they've gone with buildings, etc. How do we bring nature back? And then that last one, reusing resources. So a lot of resources we can't reuse. How can we work with reusable resources? And you'll learn more about that in a second. Cassie, I think we'll go look at the numbers, shall we? Let's have a look at the results. Here we go. Oh, wow. This is cool. So repair and regenerate. Well, regenerating nature is the lowest scoring, but a lot of you have still heard of it, which is great. Any surprises for you, Cassie?
I think regenerating nature, I expected to be a little lower, but I don't think I expected it to be as high as it is. So I am really excited with how much knowledge you guys are coming into this event with, and I cannot wait for you guys to hear about our topic. But I think we've got one warm-up first, David, before we jump into that topic.
We do. We have a warm-up here. And this is a question that we'd like you to answer in the chat. So type away in the chat. Type.
And warm up your brain.
That's it. Very, very important to warm up your brain. A cold brain is never good on these sessions. A warm brain is just perfect. So what do you already know about ways to take care of the earth? What do you think is a great way to take care of the earth? Put any answer in there. Any answer's okay, isn't it, Cassie?
Yeah, absolutely. I saw a lot of don't litter. Just so true.
Look at all these.
Stop cutting down trees.
Look at this. Turn lights off, clean up the beach, pick up trash, garbage on the street. No. Don't litter. A lot of littering.
I saw educate in the chat. I love that. Ooh. Teaching others about things you can do.
I love that. I saw pollinator plants as well. Very important to have those. All those pollinators need our help at the moment. Less packaging.
Watering.
Less packaging is something the Lego group are working very hard on.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at this. Don't be wasteful. Well, that's a big one for today. Wow. So a lot on water as well. Composting. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Composting. I have a compost.
Rain barrels.
Well, rain barrels. Cool. Turn off the water when you brush your teeth. Easy fix. Not difficult to do, but helps the planet. Love it. Plant a flower garden.
All right, let's see.
Great.
We're going to take 3 more seconds, David. 3,
okay.
2, 1. All right. Our brains feel pretty warm now. What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah. And I know that sometimes warming up your brain gets you a little wiggly, and sometimes sitting. It's been, about 15 minutes so far? I know sitting is a lot to ask. So let's go ahead. We're going to do a quick wiggle break before David introduces the topic for today. We're going to do one of my favorites, which is shaking our hands. So students, you're going to put your hands up in front of you. You're not going to put them out against your friends. You're not going to put them in front of you against your friends' backs. You're going to put them up in front of you in your own space. We are going to shake our hands and count down from 5 and keep going back and forth. So I'll give you an example. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we'd switch hands. And after your second hand, then we'd start at 4. So we're going to do this together. Got your hands ready? Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 2, 1, 2, 1. 1, 1. Great. Now make sure you've got your hands back in your own space, on your lap, or wherever your teacher requires them to be, so they know that you are ready to continue. All right, David, I think we are nice and wiggled. Why don't you go ahead and give us a quick little introduction?
Thanks so much, Cassie. Good wiggling, everyone. We have a video for you now. It was made with our partners at the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, who are experts on this topic that we're looking at today. Educators, please go and check out Ellen MacArthur Foundation after this session. They do amazing work, and there's some great studies and case studies and stuff like that you can look at. But without further ado, let's look at what we mean by a circular economy. Play the reel.
This is Earth, our home planet. It gives us everything we need and more. But now, the planet needs our help. With challenges like climate change threatening wildlife and communities around the world, we need to rethink how we live. Humans have always been very good at making use of the things that planet Earth provides us with. We call these natural resources. For example, we use plants as food, wood to build homes, water to drink, and metals and minerals to make tools and technology. But there is a problem. We take natural resources, make them into products, and when we're done using them, we throw them away as waste. Take, make, waste. A straight line where resources go in and waste comes out. The more things we make, the more resources we use up, and the more waste and pollution we produce. What happens to all this waste? Most ends up in landfill, a big hole in the ground for dumping trash in. Some natural resources are renewable, like plants, or the wind, and the sun. We can use them again and again, and they won't run out. However, many resources are not renewable, like metals, minerals, oil, and coal. Once we've used them up, they're gone. If we continue this take, make, waste way of doing things, many of our resources will run out. How will we make the things we need? How will we feed people? What kind of planet will we have? To protect our futures, we need to do things differently. Doing things in straight lines isn't working. So what can work? What if we look to nature for inspiration? After all, nature has been thriving on our planet for 3.8 billion years. Nature never works in straight lines. It works in cycles. There's no such thing as waste. Everything gets used again and again to make new things. Let's look at an apple. An apple tree grows and produces apples. When an apple falls, it feeds animals and bugs before it rots, releasing its nutrients and seeds into the soil. Add a little water and sunlight, and a new apple tree will grow. Animals get a good meal, the soil gets a healthy dose of nutrients, and the apple tree gets to make another tree. Again and again. It's win, win, win. Just imagine if we designed everything to work this way. Take a mobile phone. What if, instead of throwing the phone away when a new one comes out, we reused or shared it? What if we repaired or upgraded it? And when it can no longer be used, what if we recycled it so its materials could be used to make a brand new phone? If designed correctly, the phone and the resources used to make it could be used again and again, just like the apple. Everything in nature works in cycles, so maybe it's time we did too. The first step is to start designing things differently. By moving from a straight line to a circle, we can end waste and pollution, we can keep the things we need in use, and we can regenerate nature. This is good for people and the planet. The best thing is that this change is already happening. It's called the circular economy. It will take a lot of imagination and creativity to make the circular economy a reality. But luckily, people's brains are great at this kind of problem solving. Our ideas can help the planet and everything that lives here. Together, we can build the change.
Amazing. Hope you enjoyed that, everyone. Cassie, it's a good video, isn't it? Love the message. It is. It is indeed. Now,
yeah.
What were you going to say?
Oh, I just was going to say I love getting to use Lego to learn about different things. I didn't have that when I was younger, so it's so cool that we get to share science and Lego together.
Oh, I love it too. I'm so happy we can do that. Good. So it had a lot in that video. A lot. I'm sure a lot of new stuff for you too. Just to recap on a few things. So it talked about a couple big points there. One is getting rid of waste. So waste is something that nature never has because it works in cycles. And how can we take inspiration from nature? So getting rid of waste. Keeping resources in use for longer so they don't go to landfill, they stay in circulation. Okay? And the last one, of course, was regenerating nature. So bringing nature back, working with nature. We are, after all, part of nature, and we shouldn't forget that. And when we think about these things, we think about three areas. So one is nature, of course. One is the community and how we can work with the community. And the third one, which is kind of why I'm here today, is business. So businesses, and how can businesses help this shift from a straight line to a circle? I wanted to ask all of you what you thought about the video. What was surprising for you? Cassie, has anything been coming in? Put something in the chat, something new you learned or something you already knew about this circular economy, as they call it. Put something in the chat. What do you think? We've got some good comment. Cassie, have you noticed anything come in?
I definitely see people loving the video and the Legos, which me too. That you can reuse anything. Phones can be recycled. Yeah, that was a new one for me a little while ago.
Absolutely. Our future is circular. That's a good one. We can reuse stuff. Never realized that garbage went into a hole in the ground. Yes, unfortunately, a lot of it does. Not all of it, but a lot of it that can't be recycled does. We waste a lot more.
We waste a lot more than we realize. That is for sure. It's wild when you think about how much you just throw away. Think about how often you have to take the trash out.
Oh my goodness, that's right. Circular economy is cool. I like that. That's a t-shirt right there. We should get that. First Book sponsored t-shirts coming your way. We can reuse cell phones. Oh, wow. Wind turbines, solar powers. Yeah, resale items. This is super cool. Keep it coming, guys. We're going to move forward, but keep those comments coming. We love this. We love this. Cassie, what's next? I'm really excited about this.
All right, so we're going to give you a quiz, but don't worry, it's not a graded quiz. It's not like a test. We're going to do this more like a game show. So you're going to make sure that you have your answers ready to type in the chat. We're going to show you a question. We're going to read it and the answers. And then when I say go, you're going to put the answer in the chat. So you're waiting until I say go to put the answers in the chat. And we're going to see how quickly we can game show. Are you ready, David?
I was born ready for this. I love it. So I'm going to read them out, aren't I? And you're going to do the go. Is that right? Cool.
Yep.
All right, let's do this. Let's do it. I'll read it out. You get ready for the go and then answer. What is the circular economy? Is it A, a new way to design, make, and use things that's better for people and planet? Is it B, describes a future where everything we make is circle-shaped, no more triangles or squares? Or is it C, it describes how we must continue to take things from the Earth? Cassie, over
talk
to you.
To your classroom really quickly. A, B, or C, go.
Go! Wow.
Oh, y'all are so smart.
Oh
We've got A's across the board.
That's it. Don't worry if you put the wrong one. It's all about learning. There we go.
All right. Hands off the keyboards. Here comes question 2.
Question 2 is, which of these isn't one of the 3 principles of the circular economy? Is it A, regenerating nature, B, eliminating waste, getting rid of waste, or is it C, eating more vegetables? Cassie, over to you.
Get ready. Go! I love it. So smart. You learned so much from just watching that video, y'all. I love it.
Amazing. We are not worthy. That's awesome.
All right, we've got one last question. So hands off those keyboards. We're going to get our final question out, ready for you to look at.
Okay. What can nature teach us about living better lives on planet Earth? Is it A, we should do things in circles rather than straight lines? Is it B, we should all scurry around like ants? Or is it C, we should not be worried about waste and pollution? Ha! Cassie, over to you.
Get ready. Get set. Go!
Look at all these.
We couldn't trick them. They had it.
Next time it's going to be really difficult questions. I'm going to make sure. Well, these are difficult too, and you did very well. Isn't that cool, Cassie?
It is. All right. I'm so happy that y'all are getting it. We are going to now talk about this really cool group. I'm going to let David introduce them, who takes items and makes something really cool out of trash.
That's right. We are very fortunate. We're going to meet someone very special in a minute. But before we do that, we have a video and a quick introduction to these awesome people. The Garbage Men. They are who you see on the screen now. There's a photo when they're a bit younger and a photo when they're a bit older, which is probably more like recent photo. Now, this group are called the Garbage Men. They are from Sarasota, Florida. They started in 2010, and they teach sustainability through music. They make really cool instruments from garbage and recycled, reused materials. So they are living the circular dream. They are keeping things in circulation. They've been on TV. They've performed all over the US. They're in a book. They're super cool, and I can't wait to talk to Jack from the Garbage Men in 1 second. But before we do that, let's watch a short, I was going to say short clip. It's a little bit long, but I hope you enjoy it. Let's play the reel.
Welcome back to Suncoast View. We know one man's trash is another man's treasure, or in this case, an instrument. So a group of Sarasota kids goes garbage picking, and now they make music from stuff everyone else threw out. We welcome back the garbage men and women and their sustainable songs. Great to see you guys. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, so
you were teenagers and starting out.
Yeah, you've grown up a little bit. I think the last time the garbage men were with us, they were kind of in that awkward teenage phase. Now we're grown-ups. Take a second and introduce yourselves.
I'm Jack. I'm the guitar player.
I'm Trent. I play the drums.
Harrison. I play the bass and I'll play a little saxophone later too.
I'm Jamie. I sing and play sometimes these two.
All right, and you don't just play regular instruments. Tell us about what you're playing and why this is such an important message.
Well, the reason we call it the garbage bin is because all the instruments are made from things that we found in the garbage, and we just want to show people that there's more that you can do than just throwing your trash away or recycling. You can actually reuse things in a creative way and express yourself through music.
You're playing a Cheerios box?
Yes.
But as you'll hear in a moment, they don't just play garbage. I mean, these are true tuned instruments. How did you do that?
Yes.
Well, the guitar works just the same as a normal guitar, except there's only one string instead of 6, and instead of a wooden body, it's a cardboard body. The neck is a yardstick, the frets are toothpicks, and the toothbrush I use for a whammy bar.
But how do you get it to an E flat or a B flat? Like I heard you saying we need to tune to the E flat bottle. How do you get an E flat bottle?
E flat. Well, you see, we filled them with different amounts of water. Some of them are naturally in the right key, and this guitar string just uses an old guitar tuner, and it's important for us to all be to the same note, or else we wouldn't be playing
Or else
together.
it wouldn't be good music. I want to make it very clear, because we do a thing here called Wind Down Wednesday. These are not our bottles. We did not empty all of these bottles. We did not do it. I just want to let you know that. All right, so you guys have grown up together, but then gone your separate ways as you got older. How are you keeping this together?
Well, actually, we had a request from one of the first places that asked us to perform, Owen's Fish Camp down in Burns Court. He sent me an email just a couple months ago and said, we'd love to have you guys back. So I thought, let's see who's in town and maybe throw something new together.
And here we are.
Yep.
Well, we are so glad you're in town. What do we really want to hear?
Music.
Music
Cool.
out of garbage. All right, you guys, the Garbage Men, take it away.
This is a reggae song by Ziggy Marley. 1, 2, 3.
And I say, hey, what a wonderful time to get. Well, you can't look to work and play and get along with each other. You gotta listen to your heart, listen to the beats, listen to the rhythm of the street. Open up your eyes, open up your ears, get together and make things better. Working together, it's a simple message. Standing from the heart, oh, believe in yourself.
And you made it all yourself.
You can see the Garbage Men in action at Earth Day Free Concert. It is going to be Saturday the 22nd from 4 to 7 p.m. WSLR at Fogartyville. You can see the Garbage Men, and you can look them up online at thegarbagemen.com. Let's hear another.
Amazing. That date has already ended, just in case you thought that's coming up. It's not 2024. Hey, Jack! How you doing?
Hi. Very good. How are you?
I'm good, my friend. I'm good. I really enjoyed watching that video. That was so much fun. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
It's awesome what you guys do. We are going to open the chat now as well for any questions you want to ask Jack. Put them in the chat and we'll see what we can do. So think of some questions. Jack, I'm a massive music lover, so I'm just enthralled by what you guys have been doing. But you have a really important message in what you do too. Now, what keeps you interested in continuing to do this? Now you know you're a little bit older. Why is it so important?
Well, I just want to say I'm learning new things every day and continually inspired by the community and the people that we get to perform for and entertain. I actually was first inspired to do any of this when I was in school myself in 6th grade. My science teacher told us about the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle. And that inspired me to take what I already felt passionate about in myself with music and apply it to this band. And ever since then, it's just been a positive feedback loop of circular love in a way. When we perform, people tell us what they felt. It's so much fun. And we want to show people it's not just recycling, but actually reusing and using your ingenuity and creativity in a way that's actually fun and inspiring to feel good about the environment and sustainability.
Jack, you picked up a really good point there. It's not just recycling, it's about reuse. So that's that's a message, isn't it? It's reusing things. There's some questions that are coming in. There's one around how many instruments have you made?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, when we first started the band, I was in 8th grade, and it was about 10 or 11, no, 12 years ago now. So since then, I think we've probably made 6 different guitars, a violin, a saxophone, 3 different sets of bottles, 3 drum sets, more percussion instruments, trombone, bugle, kazoo. I've lost count.
Amazing. And someone asked how you made the guitar. How did you make the guitar?
Well, I was kind of bored one day. I think the Super Bowl was happening, and I wasn't very much interested in watching it, but I wanted to make myself an instrument, and those are just the things I had lying around, and I brought it into school after I finished it, and some of my friends said, we should make a band out of all instruments like this.
I love that. I love that. A lot of people asking when you actually started the band. It was 2010, wasn't it?
Yes. So 13 years ago. Wow.
13 years ago. And some people asking if you ever perform outside of the Florida area.
We do. There's something that I learned from my science teacher too. It's called Think Global and Act Local. So we're so grateful for our community here that we get to perform for. But we love to share what we do with other communities too. So like today, through the internet, it's so great to be able to share what we do. But sometimes when the logistics are correct, we will go out and do a tour and book a bunch of performances in different places. And I think the most fun we had was when we got to play in New York City, because that is a community with so many different and interesting people with so many ideas. And it was so much fun for us.
Amazing. Amazing. One of my favorite questions, what is your favorite piece of trash that you've turned into an instrument?
That's a great question. I think my favorite instrument that always inspires me and how cool it works is the saxophone, which was maybe not in that video, but it's a Fisher-Price corn popper toy, the thing that you would roll around on the ground as a baby that has the popping popcorn in it. And we drilled holes in it and put a balloon on top for a reed to vibrate, and it sounds just like a saxophone.
No way. And how did you get that spark of like innovation? Where did it come from?
Well, to be honest, I don't know where it came from initially, but what helped it along was playing with Legos when I was younger.
Hey, good stuff. Good stuff. It's that creativity, isn't it? That I guess not being scared to maybe fail the first time and try things out and experiment, isn't it? I guess you do that
totally.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a lot of trial and error in this project with our instruments, and still today when we're performing, we love to challenge ourselves, taking requests from the audience for songs we've never done, and sometimes it's a train wreck, but we learn from it and do it better next time, and it's very fun.
I love it. We've got time for just a couple more questions, but one is what a lot of people have been asking about the songs that you choose and how many songs you have in your repertoire and what's the most difficult. Like, yeah, how many songs have you played over the years, do you think?
That's
roughly?
The fun thing with what we do, because we started off as what's called buskers, street performers. And so our repertoire was always kind of determined by what the people walking by would ask for. So we've always challenged ourselves to be spontaneous, creative, and use our musical skills to kind of take requests. And so really there's no set number of songs or set list. It's different every time. But if we've heard the song before, we can perform it.
I love that. I just wanted to share with you before we let you go that Miriam Ramirez's kindergarteners were playing along with your song with pencils on the table legs, which I think is really cool.
Ah, that's beautiful. I used to do that in class too.
Don't do it too loud though, and upset the teachers. Oh, amazing. I'm just looking through a few more. I think we've covered most of the topics. I think there was one around, how does the guitar make the sound?
Well, it works just the same as a traditional electric guitar like the Beatles or any rock and roll band would use, except instead of being made of wood, the body of the guitar is that cereal box. But the mechanism by which the string is amplified is called electromagnetism, which is something that you may learn about in your science class. It's a very cool concept. And it basically just transmits the vibrations of the string through the electronic impulses of the wire into the amplifier, into the air, and then into your ears.
Yeah, nice. And one very last thing, what's a good beginning instrument to make for younger children? That's from Taylor Gentile.
Oh, that's a great question too. I was actually just working on an upgrade to our set of percussion instruments, and I would say those are the best things to start, because all you have to do is find something that sounds good when you hit it. You can arrange them and organize them by material or tone, glass, metal, plastic, and they all have different notes and frequencies and timbres, and it's fun.
Amazing. Well, Jack, we're going to have to leave you. I could talk to you for hours more. We'll keep in touch. Thanks for your Lego love. Thanks for all the stuff you do for the planet and for getting the message out there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. May I say too, thank you for having me. And I just want to say again, I'm always learning and inspired about new things too. And with the circular economy, as you were mentioning, I was just reading a book about that at my age, 27, and finding out new things like agriculture, permaculture, economics. It's all something that we all need to be thinking about and conscious and responsible.
Absolutely. You've inspired me again. Thanks, Jack. We'll speak
Thank
soon.
you.
Take care, friends. All the best. Wow, what a cool dude. Amazing stuff. Thank you, Jack. Now, we want to get you to your challenge. So I just want to introduce two case studies very quickly. These are going to be super quick for you. The first one is a company called De Kleek. So they are based in the Netherlands in Europe, and they do something very cool. They go around in these trucks and gather waste material from restaurants, so food waste, and then they sell that waste to entrepreneurs, businesses, small businesses that can use that waste to make products. So they are eliminating waste, and they are also creating jobs, and they are helping the planet. What do they make with that waste? Okay, so I'll tell you. One of the things they gather are orange peels. Orange peels. So they just gather those. Those are used to make soap, and also the fiber is used to make t-shirts. That's crazy, isn't it? Wow. They also gather coffee grinds. So everyone loves a morning coffee when you're grown up. All of those coffee grinds are gathered to grow mushrooms on for vegetarian meals. Isn't that cool? Amazing. That's Declique. Do check them out. Hopefully that's a bit of inspiration. The other one is the Where Next campaign in the US. Now, this happened in New York. I just want to share a fact with you. Every year, New York City puts 200 million pounds of clothing into landfill. That is the same weight as 440 statues of liberty in landfill. I know, I can hear your amazement at that fact through the internet. That is crazy. Now, they thought, oh, we've got to do something about this. So they worked, Ellen MacArthur Foundation worked with a lot of big stores like H&M and Zara, and they set up drop-off points across the city where people could drop their clothes that they're not using anymore. And they got so much in, and they can use them to make new clothes. How amazing is that? So they are also eliminating waste. Good. Now, Cassie, I think, oh, I've got one more slide. So on that, going back to earlier, how does it helps businesses because they receive old clothes and they can make them into new clothes and they can sell those, of course. And then it helps the community because the city residents are empowered. They feel they can make a change. And lastly, nature. Of course, less clothing in landfill means that we are saving a huge amount of water and energy needed for making new clothes. Very cool. So, Cassie, I think you're coming back now. There you are. I missed you. Good to see you.
I missed you. That was so fun.
Man, what a cool guy, huh? What a cool guy.
Yeah.
Great. What's coming next?
We are going to get ready to use everything we've learned today and begin to think about ways to make a change. So before we talk about what we're going to do, I want to let you know you can use Legos, you can draw, you can use whatever is around you. I don't have any Legos, so I've got a bunch of stuff that I found around my apartment that I'm going to be building out of. So don't worry if you don't have Legos to work with. And you can always reach out to First Book and we can help you get some Legos through our Lego Replay brick boxes. But that's for later, teachers. All right, go ahead, David. Tell us about this big challenge.
I will, and thank you. And remember, you can keep building this. We're going to start now and start you off, but you can keep working on it. I've got some Lego base plates. Of course, I've got some Lego bricks. And the challenge is this. Here it is. We would like you to create, well, we would like you to design a school cafeteria, so where you have your lunch, a school cafeteria that produces no waste of any kind. Whoa. I bet you're thinking, well, I can't do that. Yes, you can. You can do that. Think about the waste that comes out of a cafeteria. It might be the food, it might be the electricity, it might be the water. Think about how you can reuse those. And also, where's the food coming from? Are you bringing it in on trucks and delivery vehicles? Could you maybe not do that and have it closer? Think about all these types of things, and also cutlery, plates, all of it. I'm going to stop there because I'll just keep going. Right. So Cassie, anything you'd like to add before we get going?
I don't think so. We're going to go ahead and put about 10 minutes on the clock. David and I will remind you as time is counting down. I'll set a 10-minute timer on my phone, my very professional phone.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Right. I'm going to move my camera so you can see my base plate. Let's see if we can do that.
All right, y'all, we are going to be on camera also building while you guys are working. If there's anything cool happening in the chat that you know, like happening in your classrooms, teachers, that you want to share in the chat, please go ahead, let us know how you are doing. And at the end, I will tell you a way that you can share pictures of what your class is creating with First Book and the Lego group. All right, we've got 10 minutes on the clock where it is
Amazing.
the camera. There it is. I'm going to press start.
Let's do this. So I'm going to
All right.
create. It's off. We're off. I'm just putting some tables down first. Little tables. I'm just going to map my cafeteria out, I think, so I can start thinking. How about you, Kathy? You got
Yeah,
some
that's
ideas
really
coming?
smart. Yeah, I have these boxes from glasses that came in the mail. So I've been thinking about ways to use these in my build. They come apart. They're
I
kind
like
of like
that. Yeah, totally. Totally. I like that.
Let's see. I'm
I'm
going to check
thinking.
the chat.
Yeah, have a look in the chat. I'm creating some. I've got some sort of water pond here, so I'm thinking about bringing some nature back outside, but working with it. So I've got a pond here. You can see maybe more now.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, I like ponds. I've got 2 ponds in my garden. I love them. If I had it my
Hannah,
way,
I love David. Hannah
got?
says that they're having a new school built, and they're excited to suggest some of what they're learning today for that new school.
Oh my goodness, that is super cool. That's exactly what we want you to do. That's because children have the best ideas, I think we all agree, and they need to be heard more, don't they, Cassie? Those ideas, so important. So
Absolutely.
shout them from the rooftops.
And I want to say, I see some folks are having to prepare for dismissal, and that is A-okay. This session is being recorded, and we also have the course packs available through First Book and the Lego group. So if you are unable to finish with us today, you are absolutely able to tune in at the end of the video. It will be available for you as soon as today is over. You can watch whatever you've missed. You can still share your creations. So don't worry if you need to duck out for dismissal. We know it's that time of day, especially as summer approaches. So
Absolutely. So I've got I don't want to put loads of ideas into everyone's heads, but I'll share. I'm thinking about the food as well. So I've got a little, this is a vegetable patch. So I'm going to grow vegetables here. And the water from my pond kind of goes in a line all the way here into the kitchen. This is the kitchen area. And then that water can be used in the kitchen. And then also any water that's not used just goes back and kind of helps grow the vegetables. So nothing's wasted.
I think that you are on the same wavelength as a lot of our creators. I see lots of ideas of creating a garden. This teacher, her name Kyle, says partnering with local farmers, as well as a community garden.
I love that idea.
Where I used to teach, our school was built on a peanut farm. So there's a lot of farming around that area, and it would have been really cool to partner with some of the farmers near us. I know sometimes I had a student who his family ran a farm, and he would bring in free produce to share with the teachers.
Amazing. That is super cool. Keeping it local is what it's about. It's great.
Yes.
It helps the economy. I'm going to put I think Sonic the Hedgehog is in the school as well. Sonic's having some fun, and maybe I think E.T. goes here too. It's a bit of a celebrity-filled school. They're all having their lunch. I hope they eat the same things. Okay. I wonder what would E.T. eat for lunch. Tune in next time for that important question.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that.
Neither I. Right. Oh.
Let's see. Oh, I love the idea of milk in a glass, or I saw the idea of having students bring reusable cups that can be used.
Nice. That's a great idea.
Edible silverware or like real silverware instead of the plastic kind.
Edible. That's so cool.
That is really cool. It reminds me of those, except they're still technically, they don't break down, but there are those straws that you can drink, that you used to drink, that like make milk flavored.
Oh yeah, I know those ones. Yeah, my kids have those.
Ooh, there was another idea that I love, having a table dedicated to places with unopened food.
Oh, wow. So they can just leave it there and it can be reused rather than going in the bin?
Yeah, we would do a little bit of that at my school, not necessarily for the circular economy of it all, but if there were juices that were unopened, instead of having them thrown away, we'd save them to use for like a snack time or breakfast or something like that.
That's
and I love
great.
the idea of doing that with a much bigger purpose.
I love that. I love that. I've gone all geeky with my pond just to show you. These are reeds, and Cassie, the water is filtered, so it's cleaned by these reeds before it goes back to the school. Yeah, that's like a nature-based solution, they call it. Next time we'll talk about that.
Oh, Jessica Bradford, I love that idea. Having students help like cook meals from scratch, being involved in the process. Yeah, very much field to table kind of situation.
Oh, I love that. I love that. You know, Cassie, I was at an event recently and they gave us dinner, and the whole dinner was made out of waste from a restaurant, from a week in a restaurant. So they made everyone's meals from the stuff that wasn't used. Oh, timing update.
I know, creativity just makes time fly by.
It does indeed. It does. Okay, I'm decorating that a bit. Yeah, it's amazing what we can do with the waste. Sorry, go ahead.
I've started creating a community garden. I'm gonna see if my if I can move my computer for it to be seen. Let's see. So I've got an outdoor space where students can eat under a covered area, so they are able to take advantage of the outdoors and not use as much electricity during lunchtime when the weather's really nice. So let's see. There's that with the paper, and then I've got the community garden, which is absolutely made out of cardboard, cotton balls, and Cheez-Its. Don't worry, the Cheez-Its will not go to waste. I will be eating them after this event.
I love that. Oh, dear. That's really cool. I love how you've used those materials for this. Just goes to show. Love that.
All right, y'all, we've got about a minute and a half left. Don't worry if you don't finish today. This is something, teachers, that you can build into center time, end of your activities, anything that you want to continue, you can totally do. This is not the end of being creative, just a quick little pause. You can be creative all year round.
Absolutely. I love it. I'm going to continue. It's nearly 7 o'clock here in the UK, 7 o'clock at night. So I'm going to continue over my dinner. I'll take this down and build it with my kids.
That's awesome.
Ideating. Amazing. Good stuff.
Let's see. Oh, I love the idea of using the big windows in cafeterias as your source of light.
Oh, great idea.
Gotta love that natural lighting. Like right now in my apartment, I don't have any lights on. It's just light from outside. So natural lighting can be plenty for you to see.
That's super cool.
Kelly Kara said some of her students drew a fruit and vegetable station. I love that.
Amazing.
All right. We are at 4, 3, 2, 1. We are going to pause right now. Oh, how do I make it stop? Okay, there it goes. We are at the end of our time, so we're going to pause and just talk about a couple of things. Teachers, students, stick around. I've got something for you at the very, very end. But for now, I want to say on behalf of First Book, from the Planet Earth and everyone here, thank you, Lego Group. Thank you, the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. Thank you, the Garbage Men and Jack, for building the change. We could not do these things without each other. Part of creating change is creating community and having people to do that change together with. So, David, we are so thankful for you and everyone at the Lego Group for helping us put these events together and these course packs that are beautiful. If you have not seen them yet, teachers.
Thank you, Cassie. Thanks so much. We love it. We love doing this. We'll see you again very soon.